One of the biggest reasons I've heard someone say that they decided not to pursue art or become an artist is that they are simply not good at art. Well, in this video, I'm going to be explaining why, despite the unpopular opinion, why I believe that anyone can be an artist. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess, and I'm going to be talking about why I believe that anybody can be an artist. One of the biggest reasons I have heard people tell me that they do not want to pursue art or become an artist is that they believe their work is just not good. I personally used to have this fear as well, but you have to remember there are so many different forms of art. There's abstract art, which isn't really anything in my opinion, but I think it's beautiful, even if it's not a specific shape or person, different kind of strokes. I believe that it's beautiful, the colors, and while it may not represent a certain object or look like anything, it still does represent or capture someone's feelings in a way. Another form of art that I believe people could pursue in is art journaling. While there are not many videos of me doing my art journal in my YouTube channel, I do a lot personally, just not on camera. And the thing I love about art journaling is that it's all based on intuition and not whether or not it looks organized. If you've checked out some of my videos, you will see that it's not really organized. It's just a bunch of random things. I do not have a set plan. I just think of a color and I just go based off of intuition. And in the end, no matter what color it is, whether or not I did have a plan on how I wanted it to look out to turn out, it still looks good in my opinion. Art journaling does not have to be organized. It doesn't have to be anything specific. And the thing I love about art journaling is that no matter what the result is, it's not going to look bad. The second reason I have heard people use as to why they do not want to pursue art is that they do not have the talent for it. And yes, while I believe there are some people who can grasp a subject quicker than others, I do believe that art can be possible for anyone with enough practice. Last year I started art, and I will say I was not good at it at all. But I kept practicing, and the more I practiced, the better I got. And I will say, not in a narcissistic way or anything, but I will say that I think I am a good artist now. The thing about these days is that you have access to everything. Maybe if you cannot access proper schooling per se, you do have access to the internet. And yes, I've heard so many people say that you shouldn't take lessons from quote unprofessional artists, I suppose. I do believe that they can teach you some good things. That's how I ended up learning things, to be honest. I am taking an art class now. I've started this year during school, but until then, I have only learned from the internet, and that's where it's gotten me today in art. In my opinion, being an artist doesn't necessarily mean being able to pick up a pencil or a paintbrush and creating some masterpiece and being the stereotypical artist. In my opinion, I believe that being an artist means to create and express yourself in a way that feels good to you and that you love. For example, I believe musicians can be an artist. They express themselves through music, through dynamics, tempo markings, all kinds of stuff. I've heard professional musicians refer to others as musical artists. I can't think of the word at the moment, but I know they have the word artist in it. But I have a point, I promise. In my opinion, I also believe that, let's see, even something as simple as photography. They set up objects, they can take pictures of still life, they can take pictures of nature. I believe that photography can also be a form of art. Even dancers. I believe that dancers can be artists as well, because they express themselves and show emotion through the way they move and portray it to the audience. So yes, while you may not be able to pick up a pencil or a paintbrush and create a masterpiece and be that stereotypical artist, you can be an artist in many different ways. Heck, if you blew your nose into a tissue and called that art, sure, it could be art if that's what you believe expresses yourself in some way. I mean, I don't know if you guys know about this, but there was someone who duct taped a banana to the canvas and sold it for like thousands of dollars, maybe millions, but I'm pretty sure it's thousands. However, if you are that type of person that believes art is the pen and paper, paintbrush kind of thing, here's what I have to say about it. I'm sure if you were looking at this video, you may be that type of person that is really afraid that they are not going to create a good piece of work. Well, I will tell you that there have been a lot more pieces that I have painted over or thrown away or have never even shown anyone than I've actually posted. And the mindset I decide to go in to make me feel better is that if I fail in this piece, that is one step closer to me becoming a better artist. So stop letting your fear control whether or not you start art. Because if you never decide to try it out, you'll never know what the result may be. And you never know, you may like the result. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this little heart-to-heart conversation per se. I'm just going to go into detail about this painting I did for the video. I made this piece using casein, I'll have to double check, casein paint, which actually apparently is a very old medium that artists have used over the years, but I actually had never heard of it until now. But basically, what I think it is, it's very thick like acrylic, but it dries in a matte finish, and you can also thin it out and make it have a watercolor kind of appearance without it doing anything damaging. For example, if I used acrylic and I thinned it out with water to get that watercolor appearance, it actually is bad because using water to thin things out can be bad. I just repeated myself, but it can lead the paint to crack. These paints are archival, and basically, oh yes, you can use them over watercolor or gouache, or you can use them as an underpainting for acrylic. Sorry if you heard that in the background, my cat just sneezed. But if you are using them under oil paints, you would want to apply a barrier, like a varnish, just so it doesn't reactivate. Oh, when they dry, they do look about a shade darker, but it still isn't going to change too much since the whole thing overall is going to become a shade darker. Oh yes, you can also use it on a stretched canvas, but I would recommend a rigid surface because I have heard that if you do not put it on a rigid surface, it will crack. So speaking of that, that is why I decided to use the Jack Richeson cotton art panel. It's archival, triple primed with acrylic and warp resistant. It's also gessoed and tempered hardboard. It's mounted on high density fiberboard, coated with high quality acrylic gesso. I already said that, but yeah. Oh, you can also have the linen option. I was going to do that for the video too, but I just simply It was not working for me, just the piece I was working on, it was not turning out too good, so oops. And what else? Oh yes, despite it being high quality, it's actually a pretty affordable price in my opinion, so I think that's a really good thing. Anyway, back to the casing. You can put it on watercolor paper as well. Since it is rigid, it'll be okay. And you can put it on other surfaces such as interior walls, metal, wood, etc. And as for palettes, since casing paint is known to stain, I decided to use the Gray Matters paper. And I've used this before, but basically since there's neutral gray background, it'll actually provide a more accurate color depiction when you are mixing colors together. I would say the best brushes to work with are probably brushes with synthetic hair, just because the paint can be pretty hard, which makes sense because of how thick it is. It is a bit hard to wash out. But you can also use this as a glazing method, just without having it lift the under layer. As for the brushes, I've used these kind of brushes before, but I think they're very beneficial just because they have a nice snap to them. They hold in a lot of pigment. Plus, since they have a neutral color handle, the metal doesn't distract you from the painting. Back to the casing though, I actually really liked it just because of how thick it was. Usually when I use craft paint, I don't like how thin and watery it is, so I did like how it's thicker, but it did dry in the matte finish like the craft paint does, and that's what I love about craft paint. So basically combine two things I love and it has all of the good qualities. Plus, you can thin it out and use it like like watercolor. On my next video, I'm going to use the rest of the colors. I think there were the 2 yellows and then the green, just because I hadn't used those yet. And then I'm going to try out the linen panel. But if you do want to purchase some of these products of your own, I will put links to them in the description box down below. Anyway guys, since we're coming to a close to the video, I will start off by saying if you want to check out some of my artwork that I don't post on this channel, there will be a link to both of my Instagrams down below. There's my main Instagram as well as my journaling Instagram account. Let's see. Oh, if you want your artwork featured in my channel when I hit 200 subscribers, the details are in the description box down below. I have made a change. You can either email me on my business email or submit through Instagram, just because one may be more convenient than the other. I do find emails more convenient for organization purposes, but if you want to do Instagram, that's fine as well. And let's see. I am planning on doing a giveaway in the future when I hit 200 subscribers. And I think that's about it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next video. Take care, guys.